Year to all of you, and also for you, Stephen. How are you today?
Thank you, Marco. Happy New Year to you and to everyone in Portugal and to everybody in the USA watching us on Amazon Live. Have a wonderful year.
Okay, and on Amazon Live, on let me see, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter as well. So this is a crazy broadcast everywhere.
Everywhere,
So
indeed.
welcome everybody, and let me show you what I made yesterday. Look, and this is for you watching us for the first time, and we didn't follow so far. Look how amazing this is.
A new follow button. Yes, that is class. That is class. Yeah,
Okay, so if you are watching us for the first time and you didn't follow us so far, please do that. Okay, you won't get emails from us, SMS, just a notification when we go live. Okay,
totally
so feel free to do that. I don't have the unmute button. I'm working on it, but soon I will get it as well.
wonderful.
So, Stephen, as far as we didn't make any broadcast during the holidays, what were you doing besides? I think you have some interesting
But
things to share because
the,
you were there on your.
the original plan over Christmas and New Year was to actually go to Germany. And we were due to spend 2 weeks with Angelika's mother. Unfortunately, just before Christmas, Germany closed their doors to people visiting for tourism reasons, and we were tourists. And once we could have got into Germany, we would have faced 14 days quarantine. As we were only on holiday for 14 days, that meant we may as well be at home. So we stayed at home. We're hoping to go at Easter. We've made plans to go at Easter. So if anybody's listening out there who can arrange it, we would love to visit Germany in Easter. But that meant that we had to make some rearrangements because we're going to go on Eurostar from London through to Amsterdam. We're going to go on the train from Amsterdam to Schutthof. We're going to go on the coach from Devizes. So all the travel arrangements there's a word we use in the UK. All the travel arrangements were screwed. So what we did was we rearranged the coach and the train back home for yesterday. And yesterday we went up to town, went to London, spent the day in London walking around. We went around the Houses of Parliament. We went to the Tate Gallery. We had a wonderful day off, and I'm just trying to get back into the way of live broadcasting because you take a day off and that's it. How do you spend your Christmas?
Well, normal, no big things because I'm a home guy. As we like to
Okay,
say here in Portugal, I am caseirinho. So I think I spent. We have here Chris. Hello, Chris. So good to see you there. Okay, at least see your comments.
yep.
And the thing is, I spend most of the time at home, broadcasting a lot on Amazon as well. Yesterday, I think I beat my record. I was 2 hour and 40 minutes long.
That's yeah.
That's I was
Okay.
tired at
Did
the end.
yeah. Did you plan to do 2 hours and 40 minutes, or did it just happen?
Now I have my goal around 2 hours. Okay,
Okay.
because I found that it's the kind of a good number to get viewers, and with viewers get clicks, and with clicks get money, sales and
Right.
money, commissions. Okay, so but the thing is, I was so thrilled, and when you get, and this is the fun part of this, when you get people watching the show and they start interacting with you, so the thing goes and goes and goes, and when you look at the time, okay, I think it's time to
Yeah.
go dinner. We
Indeed,
have here
indeed.
Carinder as well. Hello.
Yeah. And Corinda said hello and welcome, Corinda, and congratulations. Corinda discovered this morning he's now an Amazon insider. So wish you every success on Amazon Live, Corinda.
Yeah, he's excited as well. And
Oh, totally, yeah.
one thing I found, and you can share, even though I don't think you made the same uh, journey as I did, because, for instance, I think when since you started, you are being kind of
Hmm.
consistent, going live. I I started slowly in March, then on May till July, I was kind of live 3 4 times per week. Okay,
Hmm.
then August came, I was tired, and I made a few shows during the whole month, and I kept kind of the rhythm in September and October. In November, I start doing a little bit more often. At the end of the November, with Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I start gaining some traction. In December, I think I made around at least 20 lives during the whole
Hmm.
month. And one of the things that I think it's the way Amazon Live works is when you are consistent, you will get the numbers.
That's right.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I see people complaining. I have fewer viewers and numbers and whatever, because they do a show once a week or even less. And because I found this when I went live, for instance, in August, September, and October, I had low viewers. Okay, so now that I'm getting traction, the numbers are kind of skyrocketing. Okay, so I think, and if you want to share your view.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a question of we have the opportunity in Amazon Live to meet lots of new people. And in order to do that, they need to know when you're going to go live. Now, if you press the follow button, which is below both mine and Marco's screens, then you'll get told before we go live. And that's the follow button that we're talking about underneath the screen. But the thing is, if you're consistent, and I go live every day at 9 a.m. Eastern, which is 2 p.m. in the UK, but I work on Eastern time. I think because I go live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's building traction, it's building an audience, and people actually come. People who've seen you before come back and watch again, and we're grateful for that. If you're watching live now, we'd like to say thank you for spending some time with us. Um, and you can actually build an audience. And now you and I go live in the daylight hours. Yeah, so we go live our mid afternoon, which is early morning in the USA, which works well. But our good friend Nick Wood decided that he would broadcast to the Pacific coast of the States. In other words, 8 hour time difference. So he's been broadcasting at 7 o'clock our time, 7 a.m. our time, to reach the Pacific coast at 11 p.m. And because he's doing it consistently, he's building an audience. Yeah. So you pick your time and you go consistently through the week, 3 or 4 shows during the week. And that builds up an audience, it builds up friendships. And as you say, Amazon recognizes it. Yeah. Now, in this show today, we used to have a logo which said Amazon Live. But as we're on Amazon Live, nobody needs to know that because we're on Amazon Live. So I've removed the Amazon Live logo from the show card, as a result of which it seems that Amazon actually show the card a lot more than they would if it had Amazon Live on it, especially for repeat shows. You know, we've got the history of what's been on today. It tends to score well on that. So we're learning all the time. I mean, this is the start of 2022. It's a challenge which we're taking on and enjoying.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and yes, and I think another thing about this, besides the human kind of part of the thing, is that also I think the Amazon algorithms, they like us more when we go often live. I think this is part of the game, because yes, they look at us. Oh, so you're going often live, so let me give you a highway to scale.
Amazon are amazing for promoting us. Yeah, we've been given our own page with all the videos on. Our upcoming shows are promoted on the upcoming page, and we find ourselves on product pages as well. Now, I've started to make a change today, which people may or may not notice, is that I'm decreasing the number of items in the carousel. And by next week, each show will only have about 8 to 10 items in it, which will be demonstrated during the course of the show. So rather than the full catalogue of 36 items, I'm actually cutting that back. Have you any thoughts on that, Marco?
Well, I use the full range of possibilities. I have the 40 items, okay, because I have them all. And for instance, today I got new stuff from TabLab, which I will be unboxing later. So follow me to get the unboxing of these TabLab products, okay? Because one of the things we have to play with as well, it's the product placement, okay? So if we have, and this is something that I do usually. For instance, one of the things I like to do before I go live is to see if, because sometimes we see some glitches, and being in the products page, our lives in the products page, it's, I think, besides the explore page
Mm-hmm.
on Amazon Live, it's the best way for us to get viewers. Okay,
It is.
so let me just check if I'm listed in some products page. Amazon, I don't think will be. Let me see on this one, not as well. Okay, but this is something that I usually do. Okay, I'm in this one. Okay, and the thing is, when I have 40 products, the possibilities, they're a little bit bigger.
Right.
Okay, so I'm playing with that, but maybe yes, some, and I think there's room to try and to make some experiments.
Indeed, it is trial and error. So I'm going to try it for next week and we'll see what goes. If by Thursday you find I've got 40 items in the carousel, then the experiment didn't work. But the shows you watch next Monday, the shows you watch next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will just have selected items which will all get 10 minutes in the show. Now, you mentioned a moment ago that your target for 2022 was to go live for 2 hours, because that's the sort of is a sweet spot, because you're actually on 3 hourly slots. So if you start at 9 a.m., you'll be on at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. That's something that I planned to do too, is to actually go live for 2 hours. I don't think I'll ever get to the 2 hours 40, Marco, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Well, the thing is, when you get audience, when you get people talking with you, it's really easy to get that number, believe me,
Mm.
because for instance, Carinder makes questions, and then you want to answer and provide a good insight about the what he was asking. And this is something that it's important, is when you have an audience that engages with you, because
Oh,
this will set the mood of your room. Okay, and I like this relaxed uh, tone. Also, this somehow will build trust and authority for you, because people are asking about, oh, how does this work, is this the right product for me in this case? And I think this is the thing. And when you look at the timer, you see, oh my god, this has been long. And
you're talking about
that's
getting, getting carried away in the moment, and you're so enjoying
yeah,
yourself
absolutely.
that
Yes.
you lose track of time. Just want to just quickly, if I may, go over to and say hello to Martha and to Chris and Corinda. Corinda's using his own name now, so we can actually see who he is. And over to Martha. Martha's, thank you for watching, Martha. Uh, how do I sell in live show? What gear do you recommend to others than a phone? Okay, now that's an excellent question, which we have two answers to. And basically, a lot of people who actually broadcast Amazon Live just use mobile phone because you can come in on your iPhone or your iPad. But if you want to have a better production, then there are options, aren't there, Marco?
Talking about platforms like we are
Yep.
using StreamYard. Okay, I can share my setup.
Okay.
Okay, so I use OBS to build scenes. Okay, for instance, I can change scenes using OBS like these ones. Okay, oh, like this. Okay, oh, like this. Okay, so I use OBS just to have different plans and scenes and whatever. Okay, and then I use StreamYard because it's the place who sends the feed to Amazon, to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on. That's how I work. But I have a kind of, I'm starting having a complex setup. But I think, for instance, if you use the basic StreamYard, the basic Be Live, or the basic Restream, or even the Heavy Mux, because it's a new platform, a new kid in the in the playground, which I'm trying. Okay, of course, and this is something that someone asked me yesterday. You need an iOS device. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's an iPad, iPhone, or iPod, because you can use iPod as well. But you need one of these three to go live on Amazon, because the app which allows you to go live only work on iOS environment. Okay, and you, Stephen, what are you using?
That's an excellent question, Marco, and thank you, Martha. If I could share my screen for a moment.
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
I am going to, hang on, share screen. Yes, the buttons have moved. Okay. All right. And I'm going to come back just to make sure I can see what it looks like. Okay, Martha, this, Marco mentioned StreamYard. I use BeLive, be.live. And this is my studio, and there's a YouTube video. Now, the reason that I use this on Amazon Live is there are 5 reasons really. One, I can play native YouTube video, and you can see that that video is ready to play. And if I press play, it will play. I can also store videos about what I do with that gimbal. So if I hide that and bring this up on screen, I can show a video of Salisbury Cathedral. I can bring into the show images. And just as an example, I'm going to bring an image in now. Just give me a second. So hopefully this will work. We're actually using 2 systems together. We're using StreamYard and BeLive. But I can play video. I can load images. I've got an on-screen agenda. And also within BeLive, I have the ability, coming back to me, I've got the ability to have more than one camera on screen at the same time. Now, to achieve that, Marco is using OBS. I don't use OBS. I just use the BeLive Studio, and that allows me to have up to 4 different cameras on screen if I wished, and to switch between them. Well, now there is no best system. There's a system you're most comfortable with. We all have different answers. There's no right or wrong answer. You actually decide on a platform that you actually enjoy using. And as Marco enjoys using StreamYard, I enjoy using BeLive, and they're both respectable programs, and both deliver a better experience on Amazon than just using your phone. There is a monthly cost to both. I think they're comparable, but using a studio like this, where you can have a mix of video and images and text, is a lot better than just using your phone because you give a more professional production. Okay.
Okay, I'm sneaking on your chat on Amazon, and Martha asked about Instagram. I'm so far Instagram didn't release the API which allows you to use a third party platform to go live on Instagram. So I truly hardly recommend to you to not go live because there are some platforms to do so, but I don't recommend doing that. Okay. If you want to go live on Instagram, use app, the Instagram app on your cell phone. Okay. Otherwise, you may lost your account, which could be frustrating and really bad. Okay, but yes, with these platforms like I'm using right now, StreamYard, and Steven likes to use BeLive, we can go. For instance, right now I'm going live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and on both channels on Amazon. Okay, so this is our setup. Just let me turn my camera on so I can show the overview of my setup. You can keep talking, Stephen.
I've got to keep. I've been told I've got to keep talking. Basically, it is a lot better if you use external software to actually broadcast into Amazon Live. It gives you greater opportunity to create a professional broadcast and to show products and to show videos in a natural way. Okay, and it's practice is the thing. Practice. The more shows you do, the better you get. Simple as that. As Corinda is doing. Corinda is improving show by show. And the other thing is that, as Marco said, we can actually go live. I can go live up to 40 different destinations. Now, where Marco and I work it, to be fair, is that Marco is producing on StreamYard this week. I will produce on BeLive next week. So you'll be able to compare the two systems. So you can watch us
At
today
least
on
you can
StreamYard.
you
And
can compare the outcome. You can
that's it.
compare the
That's it.
outcome.
Direct comparison. We're live at this time every Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK and in Portugal. And we welcome your questions. And just to go with Marco's comments about Instagram, the problem is that Instagram officially don't want you to broadcast there using third-party software.
Yes,
Now,
absolutely.
they are in control and they're owned by another company. Is it called Meta now? Meta? Facebook?
The app to go live on Instagram.
No, sorry, Instagram is owned by Facebook.
Yes, Meta. Yes,
Right. In
now
which
it's
case,
Meta, not Facebook.
we'll
Yes.
get used to calling it Meta at some point. It's confusing now because you've got both names. But the thing is, Instagram say do not use any third parties. Now, Mark and I could tell you a piece of software that you can get around
Yes.
that. Use a workaround. It's not easy. But the other thing is that you are breaking the terms and conditions of Instagram. And what will happen is that, okay, Instagram's got millions of users. Are they watching everybody? Well, they'll be watching for software broadcasting from a certain URL, and they can identify the software that you're using when you broadcast there. So if they find that you're using third-party software, as Marco said, they could turn around and give you a rap on the knuckles. Okay, but it could be that you get to 3 strikes and you're out. And it's not just your Instagram presence that's going to be liable to problems. It's your Facebook presence too. Yeah, because they know you're on Facebook. So the best advice, as
They
Marco
are
said,
there looking at you.
don't go live on Instagram other than with your phone. It's risky, and you're risking your brand. Okay, not just for today.
Absolutely.
You won't just get a rap on the knuckles and don't do it again. You may well be told, well, your account is now closed. And this is the crucial thing. There is no appeal. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Instagram or Facebook close you down, then there is no appeal. Okay. If there is an appeal, it will take forever. and in the meantime, whatever you're involved in, nobody can see it. So unfortunately, that is the situation. But thank you for all your comments, and thank you to Corinda, who's saying he loves Be Live. I've got more comments today than. Are you
Okay,
showing any gear? Yeah,
let me
that's it.
show
That's
you.
it.
Yes, let's
That's just
start with the gear. I'm gonna show my setup. There you go. Let me enlarge a little bit my viewer, so you have here my my simple setup. Okay, so I don't think you can see them. Okay, let me adjust the image a little bit. I don't know how to avoid this distortion in the image. I need to work with this, maybe because the camcorder it's a little bit old. Okay, so and I got this camera. This is the here it's the Anchor camera, which is a really nice camera. Here it's the Stream Deck, and Steven, you need to have one. Believe me, the Stream Deck it's something so awesome. And for instance, let me see if I can show you what I came up with my new feature when I get a new follower. And by the way, I got a new follower, so please, Steven, allow me to do this. Thank you so much, new follower, Mike TV. So you can you can come back, Steven. So this is
Oh, Martha, thank you for following me. I do appreciate it, but Marco's producing the show, so I can't do any fireworks. Just a heartfelt thank you for the follow. And to answer your question about cameras for a laptop, if I may. Okay, now laptop cameras. Everybody starts off with this camera. Okay, it's featured. Just give me a second. Okay. This is a good camera to get started with. This is the Logitech C920. And basically I've had this camera for 5 years, and it's plug and play. Plug it into your PC or your Mac and it'll be recognized straight away. So there's no software to install unless you really want to. I'll get to that in a minute. It lives Mine lives on the top of my BenQ monitor. You just put it on top of the monitor on your laptop, and it just goes like that. Okay, and you get it's the
mine.
right angle.
It's here. Look, I have
Right.
one too.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, now that's basically most of the 920s actually live on top of a monitor. That's their natural habitat. Just that's where they live. But on the bottom of the camera is a hole where you can actually put in your three-legged tripod stand, and you could then have the camera anywhere on your desktop. So that gives you more mobility. So you get an ordinary stand and you just attach it, and then that will go on the stand and you can move it around the room. Okay. What I'm going to do now, if you give me a second, just need a second.
Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, this image you're seeing right now, it's the image from a C920 as well. Okay, so and you can adjust it, and this is something that I like to say about it. Excuse me to to steal you the word,
You're
Stephen,
good.
but I think we can share our experience with
Yeah.
the C920, and yours has 5 years. Mine will be making 7 years next Monday, because I was curious to know how long she came to my setup. And so I made my search on Amazon, and I found that I got her in the January 10th of 2015. So, and I think I will make a big party to my
Yeah,
C920 and
coffee.
also my blue snowball eyes, because they came in the same package. Okay, they are twin brothers, even though it's hard to tell. But yes, this is a really good camera, and a good thing about Logitech, because you have a Brio as well. One of the most amazing things about Logitech webcams, it's that they don't have just one software which allows you to control them. They have two. I think, Stephen, you're a fan of the Logic Capture, which is more complex, will give you more options. I have, because I want to, in this case, I'm a little bit simpler. I use the Logitune, which is a easy to use and more simple software, also by Logitech, which allows you to, on the go, on the fly, you don't need to turn off the camera on uh, other software like we are using now. You can adjust the settings of the camera to get a better image, which is, for me, it's something really nice. Back to you, Stephen.
Brilliant. Yeah, totally agree. I've got both sets of software installed on my computer, and they both do a sterling job. I mean, the thing is that you buy your Logitech camera, and then you need to go to logitech.com website, search for Logitech Capture, Capture, and download it onto your machine. It recognizes this camera straight away, and it allows you to zoom in, zoom out, go to the left, go to the right, change the contrast, the brightness, and the colorways until you're happy with how you look on screen. Okay, so you've got full control of this camera. This is totally different from a laptop camera. A laptop camera is a laptop camera, and it's unlikely that it will have the same quality of software that allows you to actually control how the camera looks on screen. Now, this camera here is the successor to the 920 that Marco and I have. This is obviously mine. I've had it 5 years, not the 7 years. Who'd have thought 7 years ago we'd be doing this, Marco? Would we?
No, no one.
Right. Okay. So
Let me just share a funny story about me, because the other day I don't know if you used to do that. I go, because it's always nice to see the Facebook memories. So
mhm.
I found a video which I recorded in 2017 about predictions. I recorded the 2018 predictions, and a friend write it in the comments. Why don't you go live? Because you're easy talking. I think this would be something nice for you. 2017.
Yeah.
And the other day I went back to that. I was checking my memories and I found that comment, and I just replied to him, "Look what you made." And he
Oh.
answered back, "I created a monster."
Look how far we've come in just 5 short years.
Absolutely.
Totally amazing. Now, I'm an admin of the Believers group on Facebook, which is where all Believer users go. And I ran a poll in Believers group, and I asked a simple question: which camera do you use in live broadcasting? 80% of people said they
Oh
used a
my.
Logitech Brio. 90% of people said they used a Logitech camera. Logitech have the major share of the webcam market for good reason. Marco and I
Absolutely.
plugged our respective C920s in 7 and 5 years ago, and they work today. Yeah,
Look,
this
it's
this
working. It's
it is
working.
this is a camera for a lifetime of live broadcasting. Yeah, and it works well broadcasting to Amazon Live because it's 720p, it's wide angle, and that means you've got a variety of ways you can actually display yourself on Amazon Live. And without hesitation, I think we would both recommend as a first camera the C920X, which is down the carousel. I mean, you can't argue with cameras that are still working after 7 years. So there you go.
Absolutely.
Just before we go, Marco, it's Marco's turn next. But before we go there, you're obviously wondering why that's in the background. Well, I've over the Christmas break, I've done two things. I've written a piece of software, which hopefully I'll show later in this show. The other thing is I've reorganized my office. I haven't found anywhere for this to go yet. This is an iPod stand which extends to about 5'6", staying the carousel, and it means I can use my iPad stood up to actually broadcast. So I'm looking forward to deploying that. And occasionally I will go live just on the iPad because there's no reason not to. The iPad is a great piece of kit. Did you know the iPad's down in the carousel as well? So everything's in the carousel. Marco, over to you.
Well, so that's how it is. Look, I turned on the Logi Tune software, and as you can see, the image automatically adjusted. Now looks way better. And the thing is about this webcam, as far as she lasts so long, one day, if you want to upgrade your setup, you can still use the camera because, for instance, now I'm using this is my main camera. This is a DSLR camera, which is listed in my carousel as well. This is the Canon Rebel T5i. Okay, so this is my main camera, but I'm still using this C920. Okay, so it's a really good camera. Okay, and the thing is because it has a such good image, and also it lasts so long. One day if you want to upgrade your setup, you can still use to bring a different angle, for instance, or you can sell it as well because who knows. Okay, so you are buying a really nice trustable device when you buy a Logitech C920.
I agree.
So I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know if you want. Did you get any new devices since
I have
our
got
last?
the new device I've got is a new desk, but I haven't got that ready to actually show yet. So I'll
Okay, you need
yeah.
my recommendation. You should buy maybe you should buy a mount like this one to put in kind of in the edge of the desk.
Hmm.
Okay, like I use this one. Let me see if I can show you. Maybe the angle it's a little bit crazy. So this is a camera in the edge of my desk. Let me see. Let me show you where she is. So here she is. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you can
Okay.
see it here. Okay. And with this, I can show different angles. And this is something that I really like using my awesome Stream Deck. And believe me, Stephen, and let me share this story about the Stream Deck because there's a friend, the my friend Pedro Caramies, which is the most recognized LinkedIn professional expert in Portugal, and we are teasing. We are kind of motivating each other to do things. Okay, and
Mhm.
so he's the big responsible of me for going live because it was he in 2015 who made the invitation for me to join him on Blab. Okay, so we I was talking about how marvelous Stream Deck was, and so he bought it. But I only set up the Stream Deck for him. I think it was on today. It's Thursday. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday. I went there and explained him how to set up and how to work with Stream Deck. And now we are talking all the time. And he said to me, "Look, I made this with Stream Deck, and now I get this, and I can make this, and this." And yesterday he called me because he's doing trainings, online trainings through Zoom.
Mhm.
And one of the things he does as well, like I do, is using this kind of sound effects while he does the training. For instance, he makes a question and someone asks in the right way, so he plays a nice song and these kind of things. And he called me yesterday night. "Look, Marco, they were absolutely overwhelmed with the things I made today. They were whoa,
Good.
outstanding." Yes. So I think, and for instance, I this morning I was setting up the Stream Deck because there's this thing, Steven, and let me know if it doesn't have the same to you. we are working. Okay, we need to open Photoshop, we need to open a video editor software, we need to open uh, OBS, a
Mhm.
given website. You can set this on Stream Deck, okay, and you just hit the key, and there you go. So
Brilliant.
and
Yeah.
and and for instance, I have two monitors, and sometimes I'm a little bit crazy looking to things. Where are them? And then I just hit that button, and there you go. And also, for instance, this thing I made some minutes ago when I got a new follower. This is
Yes.
something set it as well, because you can set macros. Like, for instance, you hit a button and he plays the music, he throws the confettis, and then he cleans the house as well.
Yeah.
He swipes or vacuum cleaning the floor.
The, basically, in terms of doing a broadcast, there are certain things that you need to do. And Marco, you need to attract attention. Okay. And you need to supply information. Now, if you ask us about any of the products that are down the carousel, we'll tell you about it. But I was talking about being able to easily switch things. I before I got into live video, was a computer programmer. In fact, I still am. So I dusted off my skills over the holiday season. Marco, may I share screen?
Yes, just while you're looking for the screen, because Chris asked on your side if she can use Stream Deck with Be Live. As far as you can, I don't know, because I don't go to Be Live for a while. If you can use hotkeys on Be Live, you can use Stream Deck with Be Live.
No, basically there are no facilities currently within BeLive to integrate Stream Deck. If you were, as Marco is, coming into BeLive or StreamYard using OBS, then Stream Deck will become increasingly useful. Yeah, but you need
Yeah,
something like OBS.
I can use it with. Let me show you how I can use with StreamYard, because I said it. I didn't. I just said it. Three keys. One is to mute and unmute the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is to turn my camera off. There
Yeah.
you go. I'm back. And the other one is to share screen. But yes, it works really well with that. Okay, and I'm gonna set some to change the layouts and everything. So yes, because Stream Deck now, StreamYard allows you to use hotkeys, and with that we can work with Stream Deck.
Okay, so I sat down over the holiday period and I thought there are certain things that we do within every broadcast where we've got to sort of get everything together. Whenever we do a show, believe it or not, we do organize ourselves and we do take time to actually plan what's going to. I know it doesn't look like that, but we do.
Yeah.
So there are certain
We are
elements
good
within.
hiding. We are good in hiding things.
Oh, yeah. There's certain elements within the show which you're going to have. You're going to have, and I'm just going to go over to the software. You're going to have product images. Okay. So down the carousel, you'll find the TrebLab X3 Pro premium wireless earbuds, and they may appear in the
I'm
broadcast
using
or
them
not.
right now, by the way. Look.
Brilliant. Well done. Uh, but all the product cards we can have in one place. So this is the TrebLab XD77, which I'll talk about in a mo, as they say. This is my computer, Microsoft Surface Book 2. There's my gimbal. Gimbal again. Gimbal goes into every show. The TP-Link Deco. So these are the products that are down the carousel, and of course my aftershocks. So, and my Fitbit. But the next is we need the images. Now, what I've done is I created a database where you can actually put all the images together and just simply flick through them. And you can, it's open-ended. On some systems just don't allow you to show images. Some systems do, but they put a limit on it. With this software, there is no limit to the number of product images you can show. The next thing is display images. Now, in the live video sales group, teach everybody who's interested about going live on Amazon Live, okay, and going from being an Amazon influencer to being an Amazon insider. But in addition to that, if I go back here, I can also show, I'm going to go there, okay. Basically, if somebody's looking for validation of what I do and what Nick does, and basically what Marco does, you'll see in a minute, then we can do the show cards. And all the show cards are there. The other thing is, and just this is basically about displaying information, we can actually have notes on screen. So thank you for watching us on Amazon Live today. And then the final thing is that we can do an agenda for each show. So this is the show card for today, and behind that is an agenda, a run of show, saying exactly what's being done now. Marco and Nick and Corinda have all volunteered to actually beta test this, which starts next week. And this software will be released on the 22nd of February 2022 as charityware. So the idea is simple and straightforward. The software is free to download, free to install, free to use. If you like it, then you make a donation to charity. That's basically the way that it goes. So that's what I did over Christmas, and that's what you'll see running the show. Now, the thing I've just proved today, and thank you for letting me, Marco, is that this software works when you are not a host, and now we know that it works when you are a guest. So in other words, this is your show. It's a portable studio, and you can take this
Yes.
wherever you want, and you can show off the products. I'll get there in a second. You can show off the products like the Fitbit. You can show off your cards from shows. You can have notes on screen. And if I go here, okay, and we can talk about Logitech Capture. If you own any Logitech camera, you can download Logitech Capture to take control of the camera. Okay, we can show that text on screen. Text is free format. Everything is amendable. Right, okay. Right, so that was my way of showing all the products that are in my carousel, and I'm going to stop sharing now, and we're back to the normal broadcast. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's about making life easier, yeah? Because there's so many different parts in our broadcasts that they've got to be organized, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And this is something that usually people don't know how important is preparation when we talk about live streaming. Okay, so this is something really important. For instance, there's one thing about this. Let me see if I can share my Anchor camera. Let me highlight it in the carousel. This is one of the most amazing webcams I found. Let me see. There you go. So this is and it's in a deal. Okay, let me show you. This is the camera. Okay, and the thing is, she follows me. Look, she has auto framing. Okay, so she looks at this beautiful face and she knows where to place it properly. Okay.
Indeed.
Besides that, and the thing is, it has. I think right now we have 30 frames per second, but even though it's only because it can goes up to 1080p and 60 frames per second. I think Brio does the same, right, Stephen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
One of the good things about this camera is how good it works when you move fast. Okay, because usually, and let me show you, for instance, with the C920, I'm going to move my hands fast and they leave that movement trace, which is not so good to see. And okay, and with this camera, look the difference. Okay,
Yeah.
I can move my, and I think I'm only 30 frames per second. So
Mhm.
if I move to 60 frames, this would be even better. And
Yeah,
this
following.
thing
Yeah.
that And this is good for live streaming like we are doing right now. It's nice, but it's not the best. It's not when you can take the maximum advantage of this. Let's think about this. I was doing a training, for instance. Okay, I was standing. Okay, I think I need to adjust the camera a little bit here, like this. Okay, and let's pretend I have a whiteboard behind me. Okay, on this blackboard. Okay, so I will approach it, and the camera is following me. So look here, blah 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 blah, and let me get back to my desk.
Yeah.
This is
Brilliant.
awesome.
It is.
This is awesome. I needed to share this. So this is the camera, and also you have lots of settings you can adjust. Okay, one of the settings you can't adjust, and I think they could think about it. It's the exposure. Okay, and the thing, and let me do this because I like to show. This camera has an amazing behavior with low light situations. Okay, I'm gonna reduce the brightness of my camera, my lights. Just let me wait a little bit because okay, I'm gonna reduce the brightness to 1%, and look how I look. And you may be thinking, oh, he didn't move anything. Let me show you this. Okay, so in the left side, I have my normal camera, and you can see how dark I am.
Yes.
And in the right side, which should be the left side, that's the anchor camera, the C300, with the same amount of light. And I think, Steven, let me know if I'm wrong. I think you can tell the difference.
There is a difference. We can see it because we can't see you on the left-hand side, but we can see you on the right-hand
And the
side
good thing,
also.
and let me show you this as well. Sorry to interrupt, Steven.
Okay.
Look how fastly it adjusts. Let me put this no light again, and look how fast
Mm,
both cameras adapt. I'm gonna put this 5% light, 6.
yeah. It's a lot quicker on the right-hand side, a lot quicker.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is amazing. And I have a new follower.
Okay. I'm going to switch my camera back on. I don't know. Either Marco's frozen himself. No, he hasn't. He's moving. Wait for it. Just a minute. There's going to be a fanfare. I know there's going to be a fanfare.
No, no, not yet.
Okay. So the fanfare is being set up. Whilst it is, but I mean, that camera is, as you say, brilliant at the lighting and adjusting to the lighting and to your movement as well.
Yeah, it's
And
it's it's really an amazing camera. Okay, one of the things I think they can adjust, it's um the exposure. Okay, because
yeah,
sometimes I think they just let me say goodbye to David. Okay. So the thing is, I think with the exposure, they can make some adjustments because it's auto adjustment, exposure on exposure. Okay. And sometimes I think it doesn't make the best job. Okay. Like you can see right now, I think we can work a little bit better with this. Okay, but in the overall, I think this is a really nice camera. Okay, the way you can show, and also you can vary the angle. Okay, because you can put, for instance, right now it's auto, but you can adjust it. Okay, so yes, it's a really nice camera. And by the way, this was kindly sent to me by Anchor, so thank you so much, Anchor, for sending me this amazing camera.
Right. Okay. Now, one of the things that you have been listening to is our microphones, and it's time to talk about. We're not going to compete here because Marco's microphone is on my wish list. Okay, for 2022.
Not this one. This one.
Yeah, but
Today
I
I'm
down
using
in
a different one.
yeah, down in the carousel at the moment is the Audio Technica AT 2020. Now, the thing about microphones is that we all hear them differently. And the best way to find a microphone that's good for you is to watch people on Amazon Live. And when you find somebody who sounds good, then ask them in the comments which microphone they're using, and they will tell you, because we all like to recommend products that we bought, and that's why Marco and I are here today, because most of the items, if not all the items we're going to talk about, we actually own. But microphones are one of those areas where it's important, and Marco and I agree on the fact that sound is as important, if not more important, than the visual. Because if my picture becomes distorted, or Marco's does, then you can still carry on listening to us. If the microphone is distorted, then basically you move on. When we're surfing the web, we all multitask. And you may well have started watching Marco and I live and thought, okay, I know what they look like. I'll come back when they're actually going to show me a product. And you may well be listening on another page whilst looking at another page. That's what we all do. We all surf, we all multitask, even men multitask. But unless your
Yeah,
sound is
indeed.
good, unless your sound is good, people are going to move on. So you've got to decide on a microphone. Now, when you start broadcasting, you can use the microphone that's built into your laptop or your Mac or even your iPad or iPhone. But if you want a more professional production, then you need an external microphone. Now, we've already talked about one, which is the one that's in Logitech C920X, because the C920X has an inbuilt external microphone. So buy the camera and you're getting a better microphone than you've got on your computer. But the next step up is to get a microphone which is totally independent. Now, I went for the Audio Technica AT 2020 because it was recommended. Well, I was watching a show on Facebook with Mike Phillips, a well-respected podcaster. And podcasters are known for, they want to get the sound just right. And I listened to him. I thought, well, that microphone's got such a crisp, clear sound. I've got to ask Mike which one he's using. And I did. And he replied almost straight away and said, I'm using the Audio Technica AT 2020. Here's the link on Amazon, as you do. And I bought it the following day and it arrived, and I've been using it ever since. And it's just plug and play. It plugs into your Mac, it plugs into your PC, no extra software. And it works day in, day out. And you just put, it's about 3 foot away from me now, and you just switch it on. That's it. And it sit there. And if you enjoy the sound of this microphone, then click the link in the carousel to find out more about it, to find out the specs and its capabilities. But it does work straight out of the box. Marco.
Absolutely. And by the way, I have highlighted the one I'm using right now, the Tono TC40. Also send it kindly to me by Toner. I asked them because I love the way this microphone looks. It's on a deal as well. You will save $20. Okay, this is how it sounds. And one of the good things, okay, besides having a really nice sound, I think, and again, I like to say, make this kind of statement before I start reviewing microphones and cameras. The good thing about reviewing microphones and cameras is that you can see how, or listen how they look and sound, which is the main thing when we talk about these kind of devices. Okay, it's not how they look, it's not how they smell, it's not about how you feel when you touch them, it's about how they sound and how the image look when we talk about camera. So it's also good for us, right, Stephen? Because okay, I can't be saying that this microphone sounds amazingly if on your side you are listening and you said, "What? Oh my God, I can barely understand what he's saying."
It's microphones. There are a wide range of microphones, and it is a personal choice. And I just want to go back to my iPad for a moment, because the thing is that you've probably gathered by now, Marco and I get on like a house on fire. Once we start talking, you can't stop us, which means that we're actually concentrating on talking to you. So I'm just going to go back to my iPad for a moment. I'm coming from Chris, and Chris is saying she uses Tracker from Filmic Pro on the iPhone, and then over to Seth. And Seth has sent me a personal message. Hey, Stephen, love your work. Are you interested in a paid consultancy opportunity to help set up a pro live stream studio? And if so, please contact me. I shall message you after this broadcast, Seth, to see if we can do something together. So thank you very much for asking. I do appreciate it. And thank you for watching today. And most certainly thank you for saying that. Very kind.
Absolutely.
Gotta love live
You're in
broadcast.
good hands. Yes, and again, it's something good as well because again, and I think this is one of the good things about being a live streamer is that there's no way that you can cheat people because, for instance, let me share this story which happened to me yesterday. I got an invitation on LinkedIn to an event. Someone which will gonna make a event about how to go live, how to make impressive live shows. And first, I thought it was a little bit funny. Someone inviting me. Maybe there's a hidden message behind that invitation, like you're not doing well your live shows. So you need to learn. And then one of the things, and this is something how can I say it? This is something about our job that we can say we can teach you how to go live if we don't have our own show, our own trace. Okay, because this we have so many exposure that you can tell. Look, I like the way he does things. He does live shows often, so I think he or she can teach me how to become a better streamer in the whole range of the things that a live streamer requires. Okay, so and then I went back and I went to check that event on LinkedIn. I looked at the speaker profile on LinkedIn. Then I went to YouTube to see how it worked, and I thought, okay, maybe this was not the person I would choose to teach me how to do live streaming because this is the thing. It's hard for you to know that someone could be a good math teacher. Okay, if it's about languages, I think it's easy to tell if that person is the right or wrong person to teach you because you can tell if he or she is good speaking or writing on those languages. But as a live streamer, there's this transparency that we can't hide um, how we do things and how good or bad we are. That depends on you, of course, doing our job because we are here, we are exposed, and you can see how we talk, how we react, how we sound, how the look of our setups. So that's how it is, transparency. And so Seth liked it what Stephen does, and there you go.
That's it. But basically, I mean, you train a lot of people about live uh, presence on live video and going live and equipment. And the equipment's part of the equation. The most important person in any live broadcast is yourself. And
Yeah,
that basically what we're doing now. First of all, we're good friends, which makes it easier when we actually go live because we do understand each other, and we sort of
yeah.
back between the two of us. But what we're doing now is a learned skill. Okay, if heaven forfend you looked at videos that we did 5 and 6 years ago, then
Don't do that, please. Don't do.
no, no, we're totally different people on camera now, and that comes with basically with practice. This is something you can practice. Yeah, your presence on camera is a practice skill. We weren't certainly when I was born, there was no internet. In fact, there was no internet for quite a big part of my life. The internet is, in my terms, a relatively new invention. And I'm still marvel at the fact that we can actually connect Portugal with the UK and go out in the States on Amazon Live. It's just magical, and never take it for granted. And we love when we get a show where nothing goes wrong. And that's the other thing, which we both agree on, Marco, is that you're never going to get a live show which is, well, we're not. We don't pretend to be CNN, do we? This is not perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is something that one day someone approached to me. Look, I have some things to that you think that you should improve. And I was like, well, you should be a little bit more serious on your shows, and the way your outfit should be a little more formal and blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, wait, stop there. Look, my friend, I'm not pretending to be the news presenter. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that thing. It's not for me. Sorry. And this is something, and thanks for bringing the topic to the table, Stephen, because this is something that we should be aware when we are live. Because again, this is, as I like to say, it's the most difficult format, talking about exposition and the internet, because as a blogger you don't have to show up. Okay, it's easier for you to deal with comments because you are not, most of the times you are not there when the comments are made. People, they see us, they see how we look, our faces, how we sound, for instance, sometimes. And I overcome this thing because sometimes I'm talking in English and my native language is Portuguese. And sometimes I start to speak, and I at the middle of the word I say, "Oh my God, I was talking in Portuguese." And sometimes I don't spell properly the words, and sometimes I don't even know how to translate that given word to English. And the thing is, and I think this is one of the main lessons you learn while you take this for serious, is you will learn how to overcome your mistakes and how to relativize your mistakes. Okay, because okay, I know that I made this in the wrong way, but let's keep moving, because this is how life is. Okay. Another thing, I don't know about you, Stephen, but I'm sure that you're in the same stage, is that for all of us, and this is one of the main excuses, and this is the right word, it's an excuse we invent to don't go live. I don't like to hear my own voice. My dear friends, this happens to us all. When we hear our voice recorded, it sounds different, at least, to be kind.
I mean, one of the things that people, I mean, going back when you used to record your own voice, you used to think, well, that's not me. I don't sound like that. But I'm sorry, you do. And you just got to get used to it. That
Yeah.
your recorded voice is not the same as your talking voice when you're at a party. Okay. May I go full screen for a moment, Marco?
Yeah, of course, of course.
We all have the ability to go live. Okay. And if you practice first, you can get the confidence with the help of friends to actually go live. But then you come to a problem. And the problem is this: the most important part of any broadcast is you and how you look on screen. Now, Marco's already mentioned dress. This is a personal choice. You are who you are. You like wearing the clothes that you do. But there is one skill that you must master if you're going to broadcast solo, and that's this. At the moment, I'm looking at my screen. Okay. And to you, it looks like I'm looking down. To me, it looks like I'm looking at me. This is the wrong way to do it. There is one lesson, and it's quite possibly one of the hardest lessons of all, and that's to actually look at the camera when you're live broadcasting. So for me, my image is down below the camera. So the I want to look at the camera. I want to look at the picture on the screen. I shouldn't. I should look at the camera, because when I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking directly at you. And if you are marketing and selling, as Marco said earlier, you want to put across so that people get to know you, like you, and trust you. You want to put across who you are, and you can't hide. But what you can do is to make people more comfortable. Because if you look at camera, you're actually talking. I'm talking directly to you now. I'm not, my concentration is on talking to you. And if I bring a product up on screen, okay, my concentration whilst demonstrating the product is still on the camera. Looking at the camera is a learned skill. It's one that I'm yet to master, because you'll sometimes find me not looking at the camera, looking down at the screen. Look at the camera, and that's one of the greatest lessons you can learn, but it's a lifelong learning. There is no easy way to do it. I've basically made the change over the holiday season to, I've got a new broadcasting studio, and I can call it a studio now because it's laid out like a studio. It wasn't before, it was just a desk. Now it's a studio. And the thing is, I've moved my camera, and my camera is now directly in front of me. So directly in front, slightly high. So I'm looking up at the camera now. But it looks like I am looking directly at you. That's a learned skill. And if you've got that one, then you're on your way to becoming a presenter. But as we said earlier, it's not going to be perfect. And occasionally you'll take your eyes away from the camera and just broadcast. But do try and look at the camera when you're broadcasting solo. Thank you, Marco.
You're welcome. So, and the thing about looking into the camera, there's this again, because sometimes we see people that with the fear of not making this will over make this, because sometimes we see people looking at the camera like this, like they are hypnotizing us, and they stare at the camera all the time like this. So hello, how are you today? Hope you're doing fine. So have in mind that people needs to breathe as well. And when we talk about breathing, it's not just because, and this is something important as well when we are doing live show, it's to breathe, because breathing we will get oxygen, we can have more energy to talk and to keep the show going. But also for you who are listening to us or watching us, you need to breathe as well, okay, because otherwise you will get tired and it will be an uncomfortable experience for you, because if we are staring at the camera like this in this kind of uh, threatening way, okay, you may get scared. Okay, he's he's trying
You,
to hypnotize me.
you, you don't want to, you want to look at the camera, not try and jump through the camera to the other end and suddenly appear live on Amazon Live. You don't want to get too carried away. But the other thing that the point that you made there is that being natural is the best way to be. Being yourself. Don't try. I mean, in the early days, okay, we watched, Mark and I probably both did the same. We went and watched other people broadcasting and thought, that's a good style to broadcasting. I'll do it the way he does it. Now, some broadcasters know that when you go live, the first minute of any live broadcast is the most important. Okay. On the live broadcast, you've got to get people's attention from the get-go. You've got to start off grabbing people's attention, which means you start off at high volume, excited, excitable, totally up for it, totally right. Okay. That is certainly not me. And I couldn't do that. All I can do is to be myself. And basically, people are attracted by being open, honest, and being yourself. So don't try and copy other people. Take good ideas from other people, please do.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
don't take your style. Your style is yours. If you watch the live Amazon live videos, and I watch about 10 different shows a day. Now I'm not saying I watch them all, but I watch about 10 different Amazon live shows a day. And what I'm looking at is the way people present. And every show that I watch, I learn something. Okay. Now, for instance, this is true. We mentioned Nick Wood a moment ago, and Nick Wood now broadcasts at 2 a.m. Eastern most days of the week, 11 p.m. Pacific. And I watched Nick, and Nick only had two products in his carousel at that time. I thought, he's talking for 10, 15 minutes about one product. I thought, that's a darn good idea. Don't take a product and a product and a product and a product. Just pause and give an in-depth appreciation of the product that you're actually talking about. I think that counts. I mean, I watch your shows too, Marco. You know I do, because I comment occasionally. And basically, I don't comment every time, but basically, you actually get so involved in talking about particular products that tens of minutes can go by, but they're valuable minutes because you're actually passing on your personal experience and telling your stories.
Absolutely. And this I think this is really a valuable thing, because we like to know more why we have this, why you have that product, what do you like about that product, what you dislike about that product, that then just what the product is.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
the other thing, and I think it's always because we engage with stories, we don't engage with information. So this, and for instance, one of the things you mentioned, and I think it's really important, is this tone variations during our live show. Because one of the things I like to do this in an energetic way. This is the way I like to do things. But the thing is, sometimes I like to put my volume down and to
Mm-hmm.
have this more intimacy experience, because this will grab the attention of people too. And you should do this as well. And also, this will give you some moments at least to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is something that we should need as well. Because, and again, have in mind this, when we are doing live shows, at least at the beginning, because I don't know about you, Steven, but right now for me, this is kind of natural. This is not, I'm not anxious and shaking my hand before I hit the mouse to click go live. Well, I shake my hands naturally. Okay. So we have to shake something before opening, people asks me, okay, Marco, can you please shake this? And I just hold with my hand and it's auto shaking. But the thing is, one of the main mistakes we tend to do at the beginning is that we, okay, let me finish this fast, let me speak fast to get this done and I can finish the broadcast. Big mistake. Because at the beginning you're nervous, okay, at least most of us, we are nervous. And with that, if we think that speaking faster will prevent us for showing nervous and to do this fast to end, this will make our tongue roll, and at some point you're speaking like blah 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 blah, blah. And with this, you will get even more nervous because you know that you're doing it wrong. You know that things are getting crazy. And so, my recommendation, speak slowly. Take your time, because speaking slowly, you can breathe, which is important.
Mm.
Also, you can think what you want to say after. Okay. And also, you can get the mood of the thing, you can know how to do things, and you will get confident, because people can understand you, people can listen to you. And then if you want to speak faster, okay, it's not a problem at all, because you are confident and you can speak as you want. But at least at the beginning, it's important to speak slowly.
The pace of a broadcast is so important. I mean, the broadcast that Mark and I do together are conversational. We're talking about the products that we're actually showing you and swapping experiences and stories. and you create a rhythm within the broadcast, and people can identify with that rhythm, and know that we enjoy doing this. We actually enjoy being with you. We thank you for your time spending you're spending with us on Amazon Live today. And we hope that we can help you during the course of this broadcast. If anybody has any questions about live broadcasting,
Absolutely.
please do ask. Please do ask. If we don't know the answer, we'll put our hands up and say we don't know the answer, uh, and we'll bring it to you in the next show. Now, Marco and I go live
Absolutely.
daily, but we are live together on Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK, and 2 p.m. in Portugal, 3 p.m. in Belgium if Chris is watching. Okay.
Yes.
Now, okay. Now, one of the things I want to talk about. No, it's your turn. It's not my turn. It's your turn. I can be quiet for a moment. It's your turn. What? Where are we going?
Okay, let me
Right. One of
see.
the
Let
things
me
you,
see what.
yeah, one of the things
Yes,
you've
yes,
probably
yes.
realised
Let.
by now. Yep.
No, 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 no. No.
One of the
Finish.
things I did that on purpose. One of the things that
Oh.
one of the things that you probably realised by now that is this show doesn't have a script. Everything that we do in this show is ad libbed, and that's basically down to the fact that we've been broadcasting live for so long that we know each other well, and we know each other's tells, and we know when to start speaking and stop speaking, how to pass from one to the other of us. We've got after most of the time to a fine art, but basically, because we do this so much, our stories. It's like being if you watch a comedian, okay, on television, they go through a routine, okay, and that routine has been practiced, okay. So before we come here today, we've done literally hours of practice on our previous broadcasts. That when it comes to you today, you're getting pretty close to the finished version. Marco.
Absolutely. So before that, before speaking about the product, I have a new follower. So let me hit the magical button. Let me show you where is the magical button. It's here. And let me show you what happens when I hit this magical button. Thank you, Joe, for following me.
I'm going to put in full screen.
Okay, I can bring some lights as well. Thank you so much, Joe. I owe you this.
Right.
So
Before
thank
we
you so
move,
much.
that's
Yes,
right.
Steven?
Before I move on, just Chris is saying learned a lot of English vocabulary as a guest on your live shows, Marco, and that's the show we do on Wednesdays. And Chris is also saying, how do you see the chat when you're looking at the camera? Um, if we're if people were commenting on Facebook, we'd see it in the studio. The chat on Amazon is a bit of hit and miss at the moment because we can't see the comments in our studios. I hope that during 2022, a broadcaster's wish is that Amazon release the API so we can actually see comments in the studio. But for now, we have to remember to look at the iPad every so often, Chris. And obviously when you're doing that, when I'm looking at the iPad, there is no way I can actually concentrate on camera. So what I usually do, simple and straightforward, is to say, excuse me, I'm just going to look at the comments on the iPad. I'll be back. And just then look at the comments on the iPad and then I'm back. That's the way I handle it. Okay.
What I do, I naturally look down, look aside, because I don't think we need to go religiously with this, okay? Because when we are talking people face to face, sometimes we look to the sky, sometimes we look around as well. So I'm not kind of religious. We don't have to be looking at the camera all the time. Yes, I I try to look as much as I can, and now I'm making an effort to look more. Because yes, I think this is one of the most tricky and challenging things when we talk about live streaming. Okay, for instance, right now, even though it seems that I'm looking right in front of the camera, I'm not. Okay, I just found a sweet spot so I can adjust the camera and the angle so I can be looking at the screen and seeming like I was looking to the camera. So you, one of the things you may be wondering is how does he does these lightning things, right, Stephen? Because
Yeah,
this looks
yeah.
nice. So I have highlighted in my carousel. Those are these LED panels. Okay, let me show you in a better way. Okay, so one it's there and the other one it's over there. Okay, and these lights they allow me to, besides having a good light, so I can show like this with a good natural light. Okay, you can adjust everything from your cell phone through this app. Okay, they connect via Bluetooth to your computer, to your cell phone. Okay, yes, you can. I think you can connect them as well to your computer, as far as it says uh, Bluetooth. Okay, but the thing is, you can adjust the brightness of the color. You can adjust the color temperature. Okay, from as usual, they are LED panels, so you have these three different color tones: the warm, the white, and the cold. To be honest, in winter, I don't like to use the the cold tone. I don't know why.
Oh,
Who's gonna guess? So I like to go in a warmer color temperatures, as you can see right now. And also, you have this endless option of colors. Having in mind, those are also RGB LED panels. Okay, and this could be something interesting to use from time to time. And this is something that I want to highlight. I'm not using these color options in front of me all the time because I think if it's kind of, there's a saying here in Portugal that says that if you use small portions of poison, maybe they let me see the translation. They will tickle. If you use tiny portions of poison, this will tickle. If you use too much, they will kill you. So sometimes, like when I have a new follower, I like to do this because this gives you a more enjoyable uh, experience to make the mood. I'm having fun. I want to entertain you, but most of the times I'm like this. Okay, because I want to make a kind of a serious, a most serious point. If I want to change colors, I use them in my background because it's a different thing. Okay, so I set the mood and I have them listed in my carousel, my flood. Uh, oh, I have a new follower and he loves me. So thank you. So let me play this again. Let me hit the magical button to the Amazon customer. Thank you so much, Amazon customer, for following me. Thank you so much.
that was exhausting.
Well, and believe me, sometimes I do the whole dance. But the thing is,
Okay.
and I have listed in my carousel just to finish this light moment. I have listed in my carousel both the lights I use in front of me, those LED panels from Newer, and also I have this floodlights, LED as well with different colors, which I can control over this tiny remote. Okay, as you can see, let me change the color a little bit. So back to green. And this is a nice way for you to set the mood of your live shows as well. Okay, so lights are crucial. Lights are one of the best way for you to look great on camera. So you have there my two uh, lightning equipment products, which you can take a look at them. Back to you, Stephen.
Okay, thank you, Marco. Now, it's time for me to admit something. Marco has been saying that for a long time that softboxes, which is what I had as my lights, are old school, and these LED lights are new school, and we should all get some. So, what I've done over the Christmas period, as I said, I've reorganized my studio and I've dismantled my softboxes. My softboxes are now, well, they're on their way out. They're going to the local skip. I'm going to invest in some LED lights, but until I do, what I've actually done is I've improved the lighting in the office, and that means that Marco, may I go full screen for a moment?
Yes, of course.
Okay. That means that with improved lighting, I can actually use my chroma key software and I can change my background just at the click of a button. Okay. And this is because my lighting is good. As Marco said, good lighting is key. You have to have good lighting in order to be able to do effects like these. And you also need, if you're going to do effects like these, you need a green screen. Down in the my carousel at the moment is a Fovitec green screen. You can see it behind me. The effect that I'm using of putting a picture behind me instead of just a green screen is because I have a green screen. If I didn't have a green screen, then when I did this, it would not be a good result. Okay. Okay.
You're
You
flying.
need it. Sorry? You need it. I'll go back to one of my favorites. You need a green screen for software like this to actually work and to work effectively. And there are varying degrees. Lighting is key. The green screen is key. You need both. So that's why I've got the green screen down in my carousel, because if you're serious about live broadcasting and you want to vary your background, I mean, if my background was green in every broadcast, then I'd get bored. I don't know about you. So I use background removal software so that I can change the mood and the setting. Behind me at the moment, this is from Bristol. This is Brunel's Bridge across the gorge. And I can tell you all about Brunel and Great Western Railways because I was on the train yesterday. And it's a magnificent feat to put a railway line between Bristol and London. And that was done in the 19th century by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, who also built, well, didn't actually, he designed the bridge that's in the background now. So I can use pictures whilst I'm live to tell a story, but I can only do that because I've got a green screen. The green screen is key because what happens is the first step in doing a picture in the background is to remove the background. Okay, which means that in a second I'm going to get a warning, but I'm not worried about that. This is what happens. Yeah, that your background is totally removed, and you can then substitute your. I'm waiting for this to. I've broken it again, Marco. You're waiting
Okay.
for your. I'm waiting for the background. So I've got the background now. This is good. I'm happy. This is my natural habitat, not the green screen, but this beautiful background that I have at the moment. Marco, thank you.
You're welcome. So, and just to bring more insights about this green thing. And yes, it's a nice way for you to have more diversity on your broadcast. And for instance, for Amazon live shows, my background looks good, but for more serious live shows, more formal, when I have guests, I need to change my angle because there's too many information in my background. So I'm waiting for my green screen as well. Okay, this will be a roll up because this was something that I wanted, was something that was easy to store when I'm not using them. Okay, for instance, I had a structure, a metallic structure with the fabric, the green fabric, and I sold it to my sister because because for me, because sometimes I don't like to use the virtual backgrounds. Sometimes I like to use my virtual backgrounds, but the thing is, with all the stuff that I'm getting from Amazon, I'm getting a little bit confusing in the background. So yes, soon I will get back to using virtual backgrounds. And yes, really important when we talk about virtual backgrounds, the the green screen itself, because sometimes if it has these wrinkles, they will show up in the image. Also the lights, the camera, of course, and the computer, because sometimes if it doesn't have a strong, if you don't have a strong enough machine, he won't be able to process this whole process of uh, virtual background.
True, true. You've got to have the process. So you testing background software. You must be able to see 10 fingers. You must
Yes, I
have.
do.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, and you be able to move them as well, because this is in. It's just absolutely brilliant. And as you can see, you can have a moving background as well. So this is a video uh, playing behind me, and then I can go back to one of my favorite pictures for demonstrating green screens, which is this one. This is how I started off. This is one of the first backgrounds I used. I have no idea where it is, whereas I do know where this
It
background
seems a
is.
little bit Mediterranean. The one
That
before
one was,
seems looks a
yeah,
little bit Mediterranean to me.
yeah. Okay, and this one is in Germany. Right. Okay. Now, you said that your shows were getting longer and longer.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Time to wrap up.
Yeah.
It's up to you,
Um,
Stephen.
Thank you. Right. Basically, I'm going to go back to the basic green. Okay. We do want to thank you for actually spending time with us today, and we hopefully have entertained, informed, and educated. We are live every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. in Belgium. We enjoy bringing our anarchic style of presentation. We do our own thing, and we do our own thing together as well. So enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care. And Mark and I will see you on Amazon Live again soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye from
Bye
England.
bye. See you next week. Bye bye. Bye bye.